Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. It's a pleasure to be back once again for another installment of our podcast. Unfortunately for you all, it's just me today. The committee are currently on holiday. Like we've mentioned before, we've been working hard over the summer to plan ahead and get everything done well in advance for semester time rolling around. So we've rewarded the committee with a couple of weeks off to go and enjoy the rest of their summer before the academic year rolls around next week. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's next week is when we start. It's absolutely insane. It's been perhaps the quickest summer of my life. I can't believe that a few months have flew by that fast. It's absolutely crazy to me. I don't know about you all, but for me, it's absolutely flew by. But I'm really looking forward to getting back on campus, getting back into routine, and ultimately getting stuck into my modules for the upcoming year. So like I say, the committee are on holiday, so it's just me today to discuss our upcoming events, all the different stuff that we have planned over the next few months. There's really some great events to come, and ultimately that's what I'm here for. Tell you what the events are, when they're coming up, and why you should be looking to attend. So before we jump in, like I always like to mention now, please do consider following us on your podcast platform of choice if you aren't already. It really does help us grow the podcast and get it to where we want it to go in the very near future. But without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Again, sorry, it's just me, but hopefully you still find it enjoyable.
Welcome to the Stirling University Law Society podcast, proudly sponsored by Ashurst Advance, creating client value through advanced thinking. Now, over to your host and Vice President, Jedd France.
So the first thing we should speak about is the Freshers' Fair. Now, obviously, it is Freshers' Week next week, and I know I, for one, am really excited to get back on campus and see so many people in the flesh for the first time, and God knows how long it's going to be. So exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you all are as well. So we have our fresher stall on the 14th of September, which is the Tuesday, and we're going to be there all day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Like I mentioned on the podcast last week with Claire, we're going to have different committee members sprinkled in and out throughout the day to come chat to you if you want to come along, speak to us, find out more about the society. You can see our merchandise as well, which is going to be really cool. Obviously, we had our hoodies, which we released last year. You'll be able to see them. We also have some mugs as well. We're going to have some business cards to hand out as well. You know, we're really stepping up our game on the merch front this year. And you will be able to grab some freebies as well from our lovely sponsors, Ashurst Advance. They're going to be sending us out a bit of a care package filled with loads of different stuff, pens. I hear there's some pop sockets in there as well, if anyone likes pop sockets for their phone. So definitely come along, get some freebies. You can come meet the committee, and it's going to be really nice to, like I say, meet some friendly faces, some new faces as well, and hopefully we'll see lots of you guys there to come along and meet the committee, and we can tell you more about society, why you should join, what the benefits are, and kind of give you the whole rounded experience as to why being part of this wonderful society is really beneficial for your academic career. And you know, it's not just on the academic side in terms of the events that we run, it's really about the social side as well, because I know myself, even before I joined the committee and started running as academic coordinator last year and vice president this year, I made a lot of friends through the Law Society without even being on committee, and it really is a good community feel because you meet like-minded individuals. You know, obviously there's thousands of people on campus studying loads of different degrees. It can be hard to find completely like-minded people who want to go into the same field and kind of have the same general interests as to kind of why they're at uni and ultimately what they're there for. So that's what the Law Society is really good for, and you do get to come along and speak to like-minded people who are on the same wavelength. And yeah, I think it'd be good for anyone who's interested in the Law Society to come along and speak to us, and I'm sure it'll make you feel very welcome. And yeah, it'll just be really nice to speak to loads of different people and hopefully get some new members at the same time, which would be absolutely lovely. So on the academic event side, the day after the Freshers' Fair, the 15th of September, is our big kick-off event. It's the Diversity in Law event, which is running from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and this is organised by our academic coordinator, Jamie Cordes. And we wanted to start the semester strong. We wanted to have this big, wide-scale event to shine a spotlight on a very important topic. So we have a number of speakers from different areas of the profession who are going to be there to discuss the topic of diversity and inclusion in the legal industry, and really just kind of tell us, what are the challenges facing legal professionals in this regard, and what can professionals do to further progress on this front. And essentially as well, what should and must, I suppose, law students do now to ensure a more diverse and inclusive profession upon entry. So like I say, it's a 4-hour event. We have 4 different speakers coming to speak to you all, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Like I say, they're from a wide variety of different backgrounds, and it's going to be so interesting to hear what diversity and inclusion means to them, what their own personal experiences have been in this regard in the legal industry, and kind of how they think the legal industry has to progress and what needs to be done to make it more diverse and more inclusive for everyone, because ultimately we all want the legal industry to be a safe space for absolutely everyone. And I think, there are some good steps being made on this front, but of course it's not perfect. We can always get better and we can always make improvements, and I think the people that we have coming to speak to you, and the promo, I believe, has already been put out for this, so they're definitely going to give some good insight, and everyone's opinion and everyone's knowledge and everyone's experiences in this regard are valid, and we believe the people that we have coming to speak to you have these experiences and have the knowledge to really make an impact in this regard and help the legal industry progress and move forward in the right direction. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and like I say, we wanted to kick off the semester with a really important event, make it as big as possible, and really shine as big a light as possible on a really important topic. So if you want to come along, definitely get your tickets. They'll be on our website. Definitely check out our socials and check out all the promotional material. You'll be able to see the biographies for the speakers there as well, and kind of find out who they are and what they're bringing to the table. And yeah, everyone has an interest in diversity, and everyone, I believe, wants to progress on this front. So I think if you're available on this day, definitely come along, because it's definitely not to be missed, and it'll be really, really important, and definitely a very valuable event as well. Now, the next event which we have coming up is not an academic event. It's actually a fundraiser that we're doing. So on the 22nd of September, we're going to be doing a Society Demi Walk. So as a society, we're going to be climbing Demi. Now, if you're in first year and you're coming to Stirling for the first time, climbing Demi is something that everyone tends to do. It's kind of like a tradition to do it. And as someone who's been around Stirling my whole life, I've never actually climbed it, which I'm quite embarrassed to admit, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing it with the society, and it's something that we've had planned for a while, and something that was one of the first things we came up with when we were planning things in advance over the summer. And we really wanted to do this because I just think it's a nice way for everyone to come together, bond together. Obviously, we didn't know how it was going to look with restrictions and how COVID was going to progress and whether things were going to get worse again, like they always seem to be doing these days. So yeah, we weren't really too sure to plan it, but as it stands, things look good for us to climb Demi as a society, and the committee are going to be there. We want to have as many society members as possible there. We're going to be raising funds for a really important charity. Now, the society moving forward into this year, we really want to try and make an impact in Stirling and give our fundraised money to local charities so that we feel like we're really helping the community, because we're all so proud to be here in Stirling. The kind of community feel that you get in this smaller city is really, really nice, and we definitely want to try and make an impact and help as many people as possible around the community. So we're going to be raising funds for Home Start Stirling. This is a Stirling-based charity who support families in the community, often those with young children. So obviously with the whole COVID pandemic and the lockdowns and stuff, families with young children will have been impacted a lot, and can really lead to some horrific circumstances. So we definitely want to try and raise as much money as possible for a really, really great cause, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. And We're going to have all the information released in due course for this. Obviously, it's on the 22nd of September, so still a couple of weeks away, but definitely keep an eye out on our socials for it. We're going to get the fundraiser link out. We're going to get the promo out as well. And if you are interested in claiming Demi with us, definitely please attend. Like I say, the information for where to meet us and how to get there and stuff like that will all be released in due course, so don't worry about finding that stuff out right now. We will let you know as the time comes. But yeah, if you're definitely interested in that, please do attend. It'll be really, really nice. If you've never been to any events before, this is kind of a good icebreaker because, it's not academic, there's no networking involved. We're just going to be claiming Demi as a society. We're going to be egging each other on, we're going to be supporting each other because no doubt it's going to be tough. Fingers crossed the weather is kind to us. I mean, if we wake up on the morning of it and it's absolutely pelting down with rain, it's going to be a challenge, but ultimately we're just going to need to get ourselves motivated regardless of the weather because, like I say, this is for a really important cause and it's our first fundraiser of the year, and we want to kick it off strong. We want to raise as much money as possible for this amazing charity, Homestart Stirling, and really, really help them because they do such amazing work around the community in Stirling, and we want to get behind that, support it as much as we can, and hopefully make a difference for them and the families which they support. And back onto the academic event front, a couple of weeks after the Demi event, we have an intro to legal tech event, which I'm personally really looking forward to. So this is taking place on the 7th of October, and we have to give a massive shout out to the people at Codebase in Stirling who helped us organise this and gave us some insights as to kind of what topics we should be discussing. Definitely gave us some help in terms of who we should be contacting to try and get on the speakers list. So if you don't know, Codebase are just a tech firm here in Stirling. They have offices around the country as well, but we contacted the one in Stirling to help us kind of arrange this event and kind of give us a bit of a helping hand as to what direction we should take it. And yeah, they've been absolutely great, and a big shout out to Martin Boyle there. He's been absolutely fantastic. Myself and Claire had a meeting with him, and I think I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, maybe a couple of weeks ago, that the legal industry can be really small, and when you start speaking to people, you'll find out that they know a lot of the professionals that you know, and Martin was the one I was talking about when I said that I was speaking to someone who specialises in tech, who's not even, in the legal industry per se, and he knew the solicitors and the professionals that I was talking about, and that shows you how small it can be. And Martin, when we were floating ideas for different speakers we wanted to get, he was like, oh yeah, I was at a course with this person a few months ago, and oh yeah, I've seen this person before and spoke to them before, and it's crazy how small it can be, and Martin was really, really helpful in getting this set up. So the speakers lineup will be announced nearer the time. Obviously there's no real need for us to announce exactly who's going to be speaking there, but let me tell you, we do have a very solid lineup. We set the bar high. We wanted to be as ambitious as possible, and I must admit, I'm surprised we've managed to get the speakers that we have managed to get. These people are really, really up there in terms of expert knowledge in legal tech. So if you are interested in legal tech, then honestly, you will want to network with the speakers that we have. The knowledge that's going to be on show is absolutely ridiculous, and I know I'm really looking forward to it. And we obviously, last series in the podcast, we had Chloe Kennedy on to discuss legal tech and try and explain what it is and what it does, and really that's what this event is centered around as well. It's more of a speakers lineup and a speakers panel to discuss what legal tech is to them, what it's about, why it's important, why law firms and different organisations in the legal industry should be looking at legal tech to help their clients, help them make everything more efficient, cost efficient, time efficient, all the good stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And legal tech is definitely something which just gathers more and more pace as the years go by, and it's not something that law firms and different organisations can ignore for much longer. It's definitely something that they have to get on board with sooner rather than later. So if you're not too sure what legal tech is, that's what this event is for. It's to be an introduction to it. So I know myself, last year before I was speaking to Chloe, I had no idea what legal tech was. Is it robots running around signing contracts? I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're here for. That's what the event's all about. We have, like I say, some great speakers coming to break it all down for you, and it's definitely one that I'm really looking forward to. So save the date, 7th of October. the SULS Intro to Legal Tech event. It's going to be amazing, and like I say, the promo material and all the information with the speakers and the time and stuff like that will be released in due course, so keep an eye on our socials for all that good information. Now, a week later, exactly a week later, on the 14th of October, is an event which I'm really looking forward to. So if you don't know, the week of the 14th, so that begins on the 11th, I believe, is the Stirling Climate Festival. All about climate change. There's loads of different events going on around the city. I believe there's different kind of works going on in terms of organising street stuff and different events and all that good stuff. So it's definitely going to be really, really interesting. And, you know, we wanted to get involved because obviously climate change is a massive topic, and it's really, really a burning issue in society around the world right now, and it's something that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. So we wanted to get involved and have a climate change event just to try and shine a spotlight on it a little bit for our members. And, you know, we were kind of brainstorming as to what we wanted to do. We've actually decided that our climate change event is going to be a collab with the Geography Society at Stirling University. And we were kind of wondering, what kind of event should we do? Should we do a traditional style, like getting speakers in to speak to us, or, you know, what should we be doing and how can we be a bit more creative in this front? So we've actually decided that the collab is going to be a moot style debate on a climate change issue. So as you know, we have our mooting council here on the society, and mooting, like I've mentioned before, is something that we're trying to push hard this year and try and get a really solid mooting presence around the uni and the law faculty. So what we're going to do is we're going to have two separate teams made up of our mooting council. So Angelique and Holly will be on separate teams. We're going to have the committee split up. We're going to have Law Society members split up and the Geography Society members split up as well. So the teams are very even on that front. And you have different expertise in different areas on each team. So you're going to have obviously the mooting council who are going to be telling us exactly how the structure goes, what we should be saying, how should we be presenting it, stuff like that. Law Society members and the committee just for that kind of legal knowledge, and then obviously the Geography Society members who will be more clued up on climate change and stuff like that. So we haven't finalised the details yet. We haven't finalised what the topic's going to be. Obviously it's going to be a climate change issue that we're going to be debating about in a moot style debate. So it's going to be really, really interesting. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely keep an eye out for it. Like I said, we're going to be mentioning all this stuff at the Freshers' Fair. So if you want to find out more information on any of these events, definitely come along on the 14th of September to our stall, and we'll be more than happy to have a discussion about it and kind of give you more information. But I'm really looking forward to it because I have mentioned before that mooting is really fun. Obviously it can be a bit nerve-wracking with how kind of formal it is and how you have to say certain things and speak a certain way and present your arguments a certain way. And obviously, you know, presenting an argument as if you're an expert can be quite tough, but it will be really fun. It'll be really good to collab with the Geography Society and teach them how to moot and have a little debate with the other team. It's going to be really, really interesting. So like I say, keep an eye on our socials for that if that's something that you'd like to attend. And you know, we're trying to make it as informal as possible. We're trying to make it as accessible as possible, and we don't want it to be too intense and, you know, make it seem like you have to be a mooting expert to attend. You definitely don't. You don't have to be a climate change expert to attend either. That's what we're all there for. We're all there to learn about it and do it in a fun way as well. So definitely come along if you're interested in mooting, or if you're just interested in coming along in general. It's going to be really, really good, and I'm really looking forward to collabing with the Geography Society on that as well. Now, that's it for our confirmed events in terms of which dates they're going to be taking place. We do have a couple other events which we're going to be organising, which we haven't finalised dates for yet, simply because the calendar is so busy and things can change a lot. We don't want to plan, you know, things for December and then commit to that time when, you know, chances are it could change. We may have to move dates for certain things, and obviously things can crop up through term time that might have to take priority and mean we have to kind of jiggle things about. So we're not going to put dates to these events yet, but they will be happening. So the first one is a vacation scheme event. Now, obviously this is probably more for third and fourth year students, but I think for first and second year students it's definitely something just to have an idea about and kind of understand that this is something you should be looking at in your third and fourth years, and kind of get that background knowledge on. Obviously you don't have to act on anything in your first and second years, but for the third and fourth years it's definitely going to be really useful. So if you don't know what a vacation scheme is, then that's what the event's for. We're going to tell you what it is, when to apply for them, how to apply for them, and ultimately how to maximise your experience on a vacation scheme as well. So Claire Welsh, our lovely president, actually completed a vacation scheme this summer. So she's going to be there to explain her process, her experiences, how she managed to get it, how she found it, how it all worked, how she maximised the experience, all that good stuff. And we're going to have other speakers there as well who will have done vacation schemes at different firms and different organisations to speak to you about the different vacation schemes that you can get and all that good stuff. So it's definitely something to think about if you're in third or fourth year. But again, like I mentioned, if you're in first and second year, it's something that, just kind of come along to get a bit of a background as to what a vacation scheme is. Why are they important? What should I be thinking about moving forward once I go into my third and fourth years? What are they all about? Stuff like that. So, like I say, it's not got a confirmed date yet, but it will be more towards November time, because that's when traditionally vacation scheme applications should get sent away. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that, and we'll definitely keep you posted on when we get the details confirmed for that event. And the last one, which is being planned, but again, nothing concrete yet, is actually one that I'm planning myself for the society, and it's going to be a big firm versus small firm event. It's something that I wanted to do it last year, but our schedule was so hectic and the idea came to me too late in the year to actually execute it and get it all done in time. We had other plans which took priority over this simply. So it kind of does what it says in the tin. Big firm versus small firm. It's really kind of comparing life as a solicitor in a bigger firm and a smaller firm. And what we want to do is we want to take two firms which both work in the same kind of legal side, the same legal topic. So if you have family law or commercial law, we want to take a firm of a bigger size, perhaps an international one, a global one, against a high street one, just to compare what the different experiences are. What is life like at both of those firms? Because obviously you're going to get completely different experiences. Although the law and the work that you're doing will be quite similar, you're going to have a bigger team in a bigger firm and a smaller team in a smaller firm. You might have more responsibility in a smaller firm compared to a bigger firm who has more employees to spread the tasks out to. So it's definitely something to think about, because I'm thinking myself, if I was to go into being a solicitor, would I want to work in a bigger firm or would I want to work in a smaller firm? Because there's definitely pros and cons to both. And if you just think to yourself for a couple of minutes about the pros and cons, you can think, there's definitely arguments to be made for both sides. So that's what we want to do, because I think it's a topic which doesn't really get spoken about a lot, but it's definitely something that people, when they go into their career, they end up switching. They might start in a high street firm and think, this isn't really for me, I'd rather work in a bigger firm. But then again, vice versa. You get people who go straight into a traineeship and qualify as a solicitor with these international global firms, and then they find that it's not really for them. They'd rather have an impact on the ground level, so they go and work in a high street firm and they absolutely love it. So that's really what the kind of concept is, and just try and compare the two to say, okay, what's the pros and cons of both, and kind of give you an insight as to what life is like in both of those firms, because there is going to be similarities, but there's also going to be big differences as well. So we're going to arrange this with different firms. We'll try and get different solicitors from each side of the field to come speak to us and give us an insight into what their life is like and why they enjoy working at a big firm or a small firm, and kind of hopefully paint the picture as to what the pros and cons are for both, and hopefully help you decide which size of firm works best for you. So yeah, that's it for the academic events. That's all the ones that we have in the works right now, both the confirmed and unconfirmed ones. But it's worth mentioning that we are going to have socials sprinkled out throughout the semester. We're not just going to be doing academic events left, right and centre. It's going to be nice, laid-back socials, which are amazing. Social Secretary Holly Conway will be planning, and the information for this will be released in due course with a lot of the events I've mentioned today. So keep an eye out for it, because obviously we want to have socials as well as academic events. We don't just want to be focusing on the legal industry and all this stuff. We want to actually have fun as a society as well, because ultimately we're all going to have hard weeks as law students at Stirling Uni. We're going to have some tough weeks, guys. So I think Holly's there to help us relax, give us a bit of fun. We can all let our hair down and enjoy our time as students as well. And that's it, guys. That wraps us up for today's episode. Apologies that it's just myself today. Like I mentioned at the start, the committee are currently enjoying some well-deserved time off before semester starts, so I thought I would just record this episode myself as opposed to pestering any of our lovely committee members to come on and chat to me. And I think, I don't particularly enjoy doing them by myself. I don't think they're as valuable, but if there is one that can be done with just one person, I think detailing the events which we have coming out throughout the semester is definitely that one. So yeah, apologies again, but there's not much I can really do at this point. The committee deserves some time off, and that's what they're getting. So we're back next week with a special guest to launch the academic year. So keep an eye out for that, and I will speak to you all next week. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Stirling University Law Society podcast. Be sure to check out our website and social media pages through the links below.